Hola, ¿qué tal? I hope you're all well. Looking forward to our third lesson now on weather. Today's lesson, we're going to do a little bit of revision at the beginning. Then we're going to start to learn some new questions and answers. And then you are going to give the weather forecast for Spain. Let's start straight away. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. How are you? How are you? I'm very good, I'm very good. I'm very good, I'm very good. I'm okay. I'm upset. Hola, la clase. ¿Qué tal? Perfecto. Well done. Let's go back to our question of ¿qué tal? Remind me very quickly, when you ask somebody in Spanish, ¿qué tal? What are we asking? Correcto. How are you? And we could answer with a positive answer, such as muy bien, which means I'm very good, or possibly a negative answer, such as mal, which means a bit sad or upset. So, in a moment, I'm going to say to you, ¿qué tal? How are you? Then you're going to choose either muy bien or mal. And then I'll say to you, ¿por qué? Remind me, what does por qué mean? That's right, it means why. And then you're going to choose an answer. So if you said muy bien, and I said por qué, you could say porque me gusta el español, because I like Spanish. You might say porque estoy feliz, because I'm happy. Or maybe porque estoy con mis amigos, because I'm with my friends. If you said mal and I say ¿por qué? You could say porque estoy enfermo if you're a boy, or porque estoy enferma if you're a girl, because I'm sick, because I'm ill. Or maybe porque tengo sueño, because I'm sleepy. Or possibly porque estoy triste, because I'm sad, Mr. Bell. Okay, here we go. I'm going to ask you, ¿qué tal? Make a decision. I'll ask you por qué, and then give me a reason. ¿Qué tal? ¿Por qué? Excelente. Your turn. This time you ask me, ¿qué tal? I will give you my response, then you say por qué, and I'll give you my reason. Are we ready to go? 3, 2, 1. Muy bien. Porque me gusta el español. Perfecto. Let's do our revisión. Revisión means revision. We're going to remind ourselves of our 8 pieces of weather. And our big question today is this one here. Let's do my turn, your turn. The first word of our question is ¿qué? Then we're going to add that to this. ¿Qué tiempo? And our final word is this one. ¿Qué tiempo hace? Let's put that together with our question hands. ¿Qué tiempo hace? Muy bien. One more time. ¿Qué tiempo hace? A little bit later, I'll be asking you what you think that question might mean. But before we do that, let's get on with our revision. I have a picture for you of some weather. You need to tell me what that weather is in Spanish. I'll give you 3 seconds. Muy bien. This is está lloviendo. Your turn. Let's do our action. Está lloviendo. Let's have a look at our next piece. Whether might that be? Correcto. Hace viento. Let's remind ourselves of our action. Hace viento. Muy bien. Oh, What might this be in Spanish? It's definitely snowing. What might that be in Spanish? Muy bien. Está nevando. And our action is está nevando. Let's have a look at our next piece. Oh, very stormy. Thunder and storm. How do we say it's stormy in Spanish? That's right, it's hace tormenta. And our action is hace tormenta. Muy bien. Oh, that looks like it's very hot, boiling temperature. How do we say it's hot in Spanish? Muy bien. Hace calor. And our action is hace calor. Oh, don't think we can see much there. Definitely foggy. How might we say foggy in Spanish? Muy bien. Hace niebla. And our action is hace niebla. Although I must say, I do love Eleanor's action from that amazing video she did, which is hace niebla. Perfecto. Oh, that looks very, very cold, doesn't it? Freezing cold. How do we say it's cold in Spanish? That's right. Hace frío. And our action is hace frío. Muy bien. Oh, what a lovely sunny day. It's definitely sunny. How do we say it's sunny in Spanish? Muy bien. Hace sol. And our action was hace sol. Perfecto. I think you need to give yourselves an estupendo. Muy bien. Let's revise that one more time. The first is my turn, your turn. The first section is you say it to me. My turn first. Está lloviendo. Está nevando. Hace tormenta. Hace niebla. Hace sol. Hace viento. Hace frío. Hace calor. This time you're going to whisper it and we're going to do our actions. My turn, your turn. Está lloviendo. Está nevando. Hace tormenta. Hace niebla. Hace sol. Hace viento. Hace frío. Hace calor. Muy bien. The next one is growl it to me with your actions. My turn, your turn. Está lloviendo. Está nevando. Hace tormenta. Hace niebla. Hace sol. Hace viento. Hace frío. Hace calor. And the last one is we're going to sing it together. My turn, your turn. Está lloviendo. Está nevando. Hace tormenta. Hace niebla. Hace sol. Hace viento. Hace frío. Hace calor. Let's stick with the singing a little bit. Last week we reminded ourselves of a new rap song we did. The beat goes like this. Da, 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 da. And for our first line, this one here, we went like this. Está lloviendo. Our next one was está nevando. And we did our tormenta. Hace tormenta. And our fog. Hace niebla. Our next section was, we had to double that O there, remember? It was hace sol. Next one, Hace viento. Our next one, hace frío. And again, doubling that A here, hace calor. Now, I've connected the music again with the worksheet, so you can download that if you haven't got it. Today, I'm not going to put the music on. We're just going to have a little practice. My turn, your turn, and then we'll do it together and we're moving on. So my turn, your turn. Está lloviendo. Está nevando. Hace tormenta. Hace niebla. Hace sol. Hace viento. Hace frío. Hace calor. Perfecto, well done. This time we'll do it together. I'll count you in and then we'll sing it. Just one whole verse together. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Está lloviendo. Está nevando. Hace tormenta. Hace niebla. Hace sol. Hace viento. Hace frío. Hace calor. Muy bien. If you want to do that with the music, don't forget you've got the music attached to this lesson and you can practice after. I think now you need to give yourselves a massive fantástico. It says fantástico, chicos y chicas. Fantastic boys and girls. Now, at the start of the lesson, I had a little question for you. It's about our weather. Now we've got some weather symbols to look at. This symbol here is our raining, está lloviendo. This symbol here is our snow, está nevando. This lightning symbol is our storm, hace tormenta. And this symbol here is our fog, hace niebla. Over here, hace sol. This is our wind, hace viento. And this temperature in blue is our cold, hace frío, and in red is hace calor. If you need to pause the video and come back to this, you can. You can also print this off if you've got access to a printer. I'll clean it for you if you need to come back and have a look at those symbols. So, at the start of the lesson, I had this question for you. And this young boy is now asking the same question to this girl here. Let's have a look at the first word. Now, I know it's a question in Spanish because I can see straight away at the beginning there's an upside down question mark and then there's the typical question mark at the end. So we know it's a Spanish question straight away. Our first word is here and it goes like this. ¿Qué? Let's do that one more time. ¿Qué? Good. Let's add our next word. Tiempo. Tiempo. Let's put that together. ¿Qué tiempo? Then we've got a familiar word here. Hace. Hace. Quick question. Why is it hace and not hace? That's correct. Spanish H is silent, well done. And then the last two bits, let's put those separate. It says here, en Londres. Let's put that together. En Londres. So our whole question sounds like this. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Londres? Your turn. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Londres? One more time. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Londres? I wonder what the boy's asking the girl. Well, let's have a little look at some of these words. I definitely recognise this here, Londres. Londres. Any ideas what Londres might mean? Let's have a look at the map. That's right. it definitely looks like London. So, ¿qué tiempo hace en Londres? Something, 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 London. Let's have a look at this word here, N. Now, N sounds very familiar. It sounds like an English word. I think if I change the E to an I might see something. En Londres, in London. Excellent. Let's have a look at this again. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Londres? Something, something, something in London. What do you think the boy might be asking the girl? Definitely asking her about something in London. And here's our map of the United Kingdom. London is right there. Oh, excuse me, let me put a little dot for you. It's right there on Mr. Bell's dot, just where it says fog, right there. Well, let's see what the girl answers. So the boy says, ¿Qué tiempo hace en Londres? Oh, I didn't hear you repeating that. Let's do that one more time. My turn, your turn. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Londres? Well done. Let's see what the girl says. She says, en Londres hace niebla. Now, we already know that en Londres means in London. And we all know that hace niebla means it's foggy. So this whole sentence means in London it's foggy. And if we look at our map here, that's correct. It says fog. So what do we think the boy is asking the girl? If she says en Londres hace niebla, in London it's foggy, what must this question mean? Have a little think. What do you think it means? That's right. It means, what's the weather like in London? And she says, in London, it's foggy. Remind me one more time, what is the Spanish preposition for the word in? En. And as you can see, it's so similar to the English. Let's practice that question one more time. So the boy says, ¿Qué tiempo hace en Londres? And the girl says, en Londres hace niebla. Muy bien. Let's have a look at that question again. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds now to copy these words onto a piece of paper. Number 1 says in. Number 2 says weather. Number 3 says like. And number 4 says what's. When you've copied these 4 words, I want you to look at our Spanish question here and tell me which of these words means in Spanish, which word do you think means weather, which word do you think means like, and which word do you think means what's. So you take one of these Spanish words and you put them where you think they mean in, weather, like, or what's. It's time to pause your video, and I'll give you 30 seconds to do this now. Fantastic. Let's check our answers. In is en. Well done if you got that. Weather is tiempo. Like is hace, and what's is que. So when we translate this, it sounds a little bit strange. It says, what's weather like in, and then a country. But remember, when we translate, we have to translate 3 times. We translate Spanish to English, what's weather like in, and then we translate that English into real English, which would then be, what's the weather like in? So our big question today, ¿Qué tiempo hace en? Means, what's the weather like in? Let's practice our question one more time. My turn. ¿Qué tiempo hace en? Muy bien. Remind me very quickly. ¿Qué tiempo hace en means what in English? Exactly. It means what's the weather like in? Now, here is a map of Spain. And there's lots of cities that I have put in little red boxes over here. Let's have a little look. We have Vigo up here, Santander, down here, Salamanca. That's where Mr. Bell went to university. Here is Madrid, which is the capital of Spain. Over here is Zaragoza. Down here is Valencia. Over here is the beautiful island of Mallorca. And down here is another beautiful city called Granada. And each of these have their weather symbols. And Mr. Bell is going to ask you this question. I've chosen my city. It's Madrid. And I'm going to ask you, ¿Qué tiempo hace en Madrid? You need to look at the symbol and then give me a full answer. En Madrid hace. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to find your answer. If you need to double check your weather symbols, have a look now. The symbol you're looking at is this one here. And now I'm going to ask you that question in full. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Madrid? And your answer is excellent. Let's do that one more time. Here's Mr. Bell, and this is you. It's the same question about Madrid. My turn, and then your turn. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Madrid? That's right. In Madrid, it's windy. Let's move on to another city that I'm going to ask you about in Spain. It's conversation time with Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell asks you the questions and you answer the questions. Here we go. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Vigo? There's Vigo over there. Have a look at your weather symbol. It's definitely raining in Vigo. It always rains in Vigo. Get your answer ready. In Vigo. Okay, here we go. I'm going to ask you, ¿Qué tiempo hace en Vigo? Muy bien. Let's have a look at your answer. You should have said, En Vigo está lloviendo. Well done if you did, because as you can see, it's raining in Vigo. Let's practice that one more time. I'll ask you the question and you give me a nice full answer. Here we go. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Vigo? Muy bien. Let's move on to our next question. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Mallorca? There's Mallorca. And that looks like it's very, very hot. So remind yourself of how we say it's hot in Spanish, and then get ready to give me a full answer. En Mallorca. Here comes my question. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Mallorca? Muy bien. Hopefully you gave me that answer down here. En Mallorca hace calor. In Mallorca it is hot. And it usually is very hot in Mallorca. Let's practice one more time. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Mallorca? En Mallorca hace calor. Muy bien. I have another question. This one is about Granada. Here's my question. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Granada? There's Granada. Oh, it looks very, very sunny. What are you going to say? Get your answer ready. Here comes the question. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Granada? Muy bien. Hopefully you gave me this answer down here. En Granada hace sol. In Granada it's sunny. Let's practice one more time. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Granada? Muy bien, well done. This time, we're going to change roles. We're having our conversation. Te toca, it's your turn, but you ask Mr. Bell the question. Here we go. You're going to ask me, what's the weather like in Salamanca? Are you ready? Off you go. Let's practice that question again. I'll help you a little bit. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Salamanca? Your turn. Muy bien. Let me find Salamanca. Oh, there's Salamanca. Oh, it's very foggy. So, how do I start? I have to say, in Salamanca, it's foggy. In Salamanca, en Salamanca, and it's foggy. Está, oh no, not está, hace niebla. I have my answer. Ask me the question one more time. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Salamanca? Go. En Salamanca hace niebla. In Salamanca, it's foggy. Okay, one more question for Mr. Bell. This time you're going to ask me about the weather in Valencia. And Valencia is down here. You ready to get your question? ¿Qué tiempo hace en Valencia? Ask me now. There's Valencia. It's definitely very cold. In Valencia is en Valencia. Cold, hace frío. Yeah, I've got my answer ready. Ask me the question one more time. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Valencia, Mr. Bell? Go. En Valencia hace frío. In Valencia, it's cold. Well done. Now it's your turn again, but this time you're going to do a little bit of writing. Te toca escribir. It's your turn to write. You need to write in the missing language, the missing words. Let's have a look at your task. Here is your map of Spain that we've just been talking about. It's the same cities and the same weather. You can print this off if you need to. If you can't print it off, that's fine. Just go back in the video and you can pause and have a look at the weather. This is the sheet that I'd like you to use. It's got the map here, if you can print it. It's got your weather symbols and the weather. And all you need to do is finish the sentence. So here it says, en Vigo. And if you find Vigo, which is that one there, you can see that the weather symbol is this one. So we know the weather is está lloviendo. So this sentence would be, en Vigo está lloviendo, full stop. And then you can tick that off. The next one is Mallorca. Over here is Mallorca. That's the weather symbol, and we know it's hace calor. So to finish this sentence, it would be en Mallorca, and you would write hace calor. Tell me how we do the next one in Zaragoza. There's Zaragoza. That's the weather symbol. So tell me how you would finish this sentence. Off you go. Good. Well done for giving a full sentence. En Zaragoza hace tormenta. Now, it's time to pause the video and complete this worksheet. If you can print it off, fantastic. You can do it straight on the worksheet. If not, you'll need to pause the video and copy out number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on a piece of paper and write the sentences on that piece of paper. It's time to pause your video now. Excellent. Time to give yourselves an estupendo. Right. This time we've got a bit of a conversation. Mr. Bell is going to ask you a lot more questions just to re-practice that language. But this time we're looking at a map of the United Kingdom. I've still got my question. ¿Qué tiempo hace? What's the weather like? But this time it says en Leeds. If I look for Leeds, there's Leeds. And that's our weather symbol. And it's windy. So the answer is en leads hace viento. So I'm going to ask you about a few cities in the United Kingdom on this map, and then you have to give me a full answer. Here's my first question for you. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Plymouth? Give me a full answer. En Plymouth, there's the weather. Off you go. Excellent. En Plymouth hace sol. I have another question for you. Let's find out the weather in Glasgow. Here comes my question. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Glasgow? Muy bien. En Glasgow está nevando. One more question, and then you can practice with either mummy or daddy, or maybe your brother or sister if you've got. Here we go. Last question from Mr. Bell before you practice alone. And the question is going to be about the weather in Belfast. ¿Qué tiempo hace en Belfast? That's right, it's raining. En Belfast está lloviendo. Muy bien. I'm going to leave this page up for you so you can ask questions to your mummy or daddy about some cities in London. You can also print in England, in the UK. You can also print this off if you want to practice and write some sentences. But now it's time to give yourselves another massive fantástico. Muy bien. Well done. And now Mr. Bell's really looking forward to seeing your work again on Seesaw once you've completed everything. Remember, if you can't print it off, it's absolutely fine. You can just write it on a piece of paper and I'll still be happy to see it. Time to say adios. Adios.